This group wants the young Latinx community to know that their vote matters.
When we participate, they have to pay attention to us.
Maria Teresa Kumar is the president and co-founder of Voto Latino, a group focused on educating and empowering the next generation of Latinx voters.
We still need to continue voting so that we can still keep passing important legislation that is going to tackle the economy, that is going to tackle more climate, and to finish the business that we started when we started registering and voting in record numbers in 2018. We need to keep that momentum. Right now, we have, for the very first time, close to $500 billion of investment for climate change to address the climate crisis. That's not just the biggest investment that we've ever had as a country, but in the world, and we're leading again. The fact that we know diabetes sadly really impacts the Latino community, but because they voted, we were able to get legislation that caps insulin at $35. That's not small, and the list goes on. And so when people say, well, my vote doesn't work, it works when you are consistent. And what we have seen is an upward trajectory in the Latino vote since 2016. In the last 3 elections, we're starting to see more and more participation by Latinos, but also by a multicultural young America. And that's why we're passing a gun reform. That's why we're also having this conversation of let's codify Roe versus Wade so that nobody is in your business.
Kumar advises young people to stick with the process and see it through.
Politicking, sadly, it's a journey, and you can't do the whole agenda in one legislative session. I always say, what happens in a relationship? If you stop calling the person won't pay attention to you, right? In this case, if you don't show up to the polls and tell your members of Congress that you're paying attention, they're not going to return your calls. It's that easy. And so when people say my vote doesn't matter, I want you to take a step back and remember where we were in the middle of a pandemic. Many of us had lost jobs. Many of us were strapped with student loan debt. Many of us weren't sure if we were going to be able to make ends meet. And then we went and we voted in record number in 2020. And while it hasn't been easy, we actually see the results of what good governance means. And we can't stop because we may not agree with everything that's being passed legislatively, and we may not agree with everything our elected officials do, but what we do know, and the proof is in the receipts, that when we participate, they have to pay attention to us.
Recent elections have seen more self-identifying Latinx voters participate than ever before, and Kumar is hoping that trend continues and young people continue to show up.
If they have a seat at the table, then we can actually transform the policies that we need to prepare for the future. And I think that democracy is strongest when everyone has a voice. It could be sloppy. We might not have the exact policy that we want right then and there. It will take time, but the only way that you jumpstart that time is by participation today. We need to be present so that we can continue the job, because what we're defining right now is not just for us, but we're literally defining the United States for the rest of the century. The reason that we're in this moment is because there is a tsunami of young people turning 18 in the last 2 years, and people are afraid of your power. Don't abdicate it, take it.